Thank you, Mr Speaker. I'm delighted to stand today in support of this third reading of a very important bill to create an amalgamated electoral administrative entity, and in doing so to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of our electoral system. The Māori Party has been pleased to support this bill throughout its passage in the House, and we thank the Minister of Justice for his good work in making such good and rapid progress. The quality of the administration system is, of course, fundamental to improving and increasing Māori electoral participation, a goal which is of course, utmost importance to our party. I bring a particular experience with me to this bill in light of the history of the Te Tai Tonga electorate. Te Tai Tonga, or its predecessor, Southern Māori, has suffered more than its fair share of administration complexities over the years. Easily the biggest electorate in the country, and in fact I tried to tell some Australians that it was the biggest in the world, but they just laughed me off. It covers some 161,000 kilometres, and we have had ongoing issues in access and administration. Dr Teopera McDowell has presented an historical overview of Southern Māori, recording that in the 19th century the number of polling places in the south declined, comparatively speaking, with other Māori electorates. So while in 1868 Southern Māori were assigned, along with the other Māori electorates, the grand total of 11 polling places, by 1887 Southern Māori had only 25 polling places, compared with 35 in Northern Māori, 61 in Eastern Māori, or 86 for Western Māori. So huge electorate, 25 polling places, totally unfair. According to Dr McDowell, the iwi of the South made up for these difficulties by sending some of their most articulate, outspoken and tireless members to take on this seat. People of the ilk of H.K. Taiaroa, Tame Parata, who is a whanaunga of our colleague Hekea, Eruera Tirikatene and Whetu Tirikatene Sullivan. I raise this history today because I think it is important that one of the first tasks of the new Electoral Commission would be to look at equity and parity across all electorates, ensuring that there is a coordinated overview which makes a priority commitment to effective administration for all electorates and subsequently all voters. And I have to say that it is somewhat dispiriting to know that in 2005 inquiry into the general election, the Māori Party raised a very similar issue to that first mooted in 1887, and recommending that the Chief Electoral Office review its organisation and resourcing of polling places. The view from the Māori Party was that all polling places should have sufficient supplies and trained staff to cope with the demands they face on polling day, and that this standard must be equally applied across all electorates. In a previous reading of this bill, I raised the views of the Nelson-based Community Law Service, who raised a range of issues that the new Electoral Commission could look at to ensure the health of democracy and the electoral process. That excellent Community Law Service raised issues such as an insufficient number of Māori roll voting papers and a lack of Māori roll data as being issues which could have been easily rectified. A point that was raised by Dr Helena Catt during the Select Committee phase was to welcome the inclusion of a clear education role for the new entity. This is something that the Māori Party holds as critical to the effective functioning of the electoral democracy. We were interested too in the comments from Dr Catt suggesting that in time this role should be expanded to include all elections for public office. Whilst we note that a cost saving to government of 3.19% is expected from this bill, it does make me wonder about a broader value that we could expect to emerge from improved representation and participation in the electoral process. Better services for voters, candidates and political parties should, we hope, result in a more reliable and fuller participation at the polling booths. Finally, Mr Speaker, we are happy to support this bill as a sound platform for future development. And if I can share just one more topical snippet from the impressive records of Dr Teopera McDowell, history records the fate of one Deputy Returning Officer, J.T. Large, who was sent on a 15-day trek from Lake Waikaremoana to record votes in the remote Uruwera Ranges. After being lost and injured on his journey, apparently Mr Large arrived to find that most of the community had left to go to Whakatane and was told to count the trees for votes. From time to time, issues of administrative overload or error continue to confront us. Indeed, sometimes it has been so significant that we literally can't see the trees for the forest. Sorry, we can't see the forest for the trees. I can only hope that in the 2011 elections we can see a way forward through the forest, through the trees, to a future in which all voters have the benefit of being able to participate in a healthy democracy in an effective electoral system. We are pleased to support this bill.